From the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Wing turn, stops at the free throw line. Looks for an outlet pass, and from the elbow gives it to DJ. DJ on the right side, fires to Pop on the alley-oop. Pop at the top of the key. He fires for a three-pointer. He makes it.
Pop had a big night coming off the bench. What spark does he bring for you guys?
Energy. I ain't gonna lie, he scared me when he made that three. It was big and contested, so I mean, I love the dude. He takes some good shots. He some nice blocks, some alley-oops. You saw that. So yeah, crowd was crazy. First home conference game. Got the dub. That's what we needed, and I'm trying to look forward to the next one. So, smell.
Conference play is here, and the Runnin' Rebels come out swinging. Welcome into the RebZone. Excited to have the head coach of the Runnin' Rebels, Kevin Kruger, in studio. What a fun atmosphere last night. Big win for you guys, 87-77 over Fresno State. And like we just heard from Jaylen Bedford, a lot of energy from Pop and your guys. What did you see from your squad?
Yeah, just that. We needed to get off to a good start. That first game back from after the holiday break can be a little nerve-wracking. You're not really sure, of course, with people traveling, students gone, the environment was great. People came out and supported. Guys, of course, coming back from being home for a few days, you kind of want to get back into that flow, but guys did a great job. First half especially, that was kind of the team that we've shown over the last 3-4 games that we've become, so we just got to keep kind of piecing that together and put full games together.
Yeah, excited to see stacking wins right now, but want to talk about what you're seeing in practice. Several new faces this year, but a couple returners as well. It's an older group with transfers on your roster, but what are you seeing day in, day out from your guys?
A lot of that, older guys that have experience, and it's a group that works hard. They enjoy each other, so they work at it each day to try to get ready and be prepared. And with the way the season's gone so far, everybody's stepped up and had big days and been ready to go every single night. And as we've learned, that's what you need if you want to have a good team that's gonna have a chance to win ball games. Everybody's got to be ready to play and locked in. And so far, this group's done a good job with that.
Yeah, a lot of good energy. I heard from Bedford that they're excited for conference play. These transfers transferred to UNLV to play in the best league in the nation. While the Thomas and Mack was rocking for the Runnin' Rebels conference opener against Fresno State, UNLV legend Hodge Malik Williams rocking Randall Cunningham's jersey, ready to get Mountain West action started. Strong start for the Rebels. Bear Cherry always aggressive in the paint with his physicality. UNLV jumps on the board first. The Runnin' Rebels playing with a lot of confidence. Jaden Henley pulls up from deep. The Rebels jump in front 5-1. And the star of the show, Jaylen Bedford, was dropping threes at the Thomas and Mack. Big night for the senior, pouring in 18 points, shooting 3 of 4 from deep. The Rebels are cruising 10-3. Defense turning into offense here. Rishwain with the steal, and Jalen Hill finishes on the other end for 2. Rebels up 21-13 in the first half. Welcome to the Pop Show. Huge spark for the Rebels. Pop and Jay, the 7-foot center, was doing it all last night. The Rebels are up by 18 points at halftime. And the best point guard in the conference, DJ Thomas, scored a game-high 21 points against the Bulldogs, and the Rebels continue their dominance in the second half. Bedford adds another 3 on the board, and the Rebels are cruising 56-43. Fresno State would knock down 3 threes in a row. This one by Jalen Weaver. The Bulldogs would trail by 4, 56-52, but the Rebels finished strong, clinching their first conference dub of the season, 87-77 over Fresno State.
I mean, it's huge for us, obviously, getting off to a good start. The whole team has a lot of confidence in being able to win the conference and get into the tournament. That's the main goal. So, I mean, us starting 1-0 is great for us.
I think we played very well. We played, really collective with each other. What we do well is we play ball, so we move the ball around, we pass. We took some open, great shots, and that's what we did well. We pushed the ball, got some rebounds. We did 19-6 on the rebound, so that was really good. So I'm really confident, especially over this game, and then, looking forward to the end of the season, conference season.
A lot of excitement with this Runnin' Rebels team starting off conference play 1-0. But what I heard from the guys last night was that mentality of feeling confident out there. I know at the beginning of the season you guys had the injury bug, but what are you seeing from your guys and their mentality heading into conference play?
Yeah, I think Bedford said it perfectly right there. Just got great shots, but it started defensively. We had a really good defensive first half that led to some really good looks for us, and guys were playing confident, making plays for each other. 19 assists, one of our highs on the year. So guys did a good job sharing it, creating for each other, and as we all know, the more we can get movement and more people involved, especially in this conference, you're going to have better chances each night.
Yeah, Coach, what I saw last night was defense turning into offense. Defensively, Coach, heading into conference play, what do you want to see from your team?
Just to keep getting better. You know, I think the last 4 or 5 games we've done a good job of continuing to do what we practice, and you know, that's been very apparent the last handful of games. Of course, the second half last night wasn't our best, but because of what we done in the first half, we were able to kind of build a cushion and go from there. But that first half, the last game with Riverside before the break, even on the road at Dayton, we really just went out and did what we practiced. Guys knew what each other was going to do, and we put together some really good stretches there defensively, which led to some good nights for us offensively.
Yeah, the Runnin' Rebels rocking and rolling, looking to improve to 2-0 in conference play. Coming up next, Pop and Jai was popping off last night against the Bulldogs. We'll hear how special number 22 is and how his size and length will be an advantage for UNLV in Mountain West play. The RebZone returns after the break. Runnin' Rebels head coach Kevin Kruger in studio joining us tonight. Coach, your success you're having on the court is also from your coaching staff, the continuity, returning your assistant coaches. Talk about the impact they're having this season.
Yeah, just I mean, a lot of experience. You know, great guys, great families. You know, all 3 guys. You know, when you talk about Jamal Williams, John Cooper, Barrett Peary, and even with Will Saxon, Devin Matthews, all have options. They know a million people in the game, but you know, staying here in Vegas in part because of as we're continuing to get better year in and year out, but also the community. This is a place that their families like and enjoy. So it just helps kind of all feed into and build a better UNLV basketball program. So really happy to have all 3 of them back. And right now, as conference season starting, is when it really pays off, because that's when, you know, the relationships are a little bit more established, and those conversations become a little bit more even prevalent than the on the court stuff. So really glad to have all 3 back.
It really says a lot about Las Vegas when coaches and players want to stay here in the sports capital of the world. Speaking of players staying here, DJ Thomas just building off a huge freshman year, Mountain West Freshman of the Year. What are you seeing year 2 from your starting point guard?
Yeah, I think he's taken another step forward. You know, last year I thought obviously he had a great year, Freshman of the Year, but even with, you know, experienced Caleb and Keelan Boone out there, the emergence of Rob Whaley, he wasn't necessarily as much of the focal point on scouting reports. And now this year he is the focal point. You know, when we go into games, the opponents are keyed in on him, and he's still taking another step forward, which is great for us. It's great for the program, and the guys have kind of fed off each other. And he's continuing to get better, which we need to have a good year.
Speaking of feeding off each other, number 22, just an amazing freshman, so big, so dominant. What are you seeing from Pop and Jai this season?
Pop's just about as consistent as it gets. You know, he's somebody that is relatively new to the game of basketball, hasn't been playing it since he was a kid like a lot of other guys in college basketball. But, you know, he wants to be a great player. He wants to be a great teammate. He's great with the coaches, great with his teammates, and he's somebody that just is a sponge, and he's fun to be around. He's always happy. He's always smiling and in a good mood. And yeah, I think you know, I mentioned it last night after the game with Rob coming back, you know, Bear coming in. There was, you know, how are we going to get Pop some minutes early? How are we going to make him feel good, get him some repetitions so that he can continue to get better? And of course, with Rob's injury now, Pop was kind of thrown into a role where he was getting a lot of minutes and having to learn on the fly a little bit. And he's done a great job with that, and he's proved it, and he's ready for it, and he's just going to get better.
Now, one more player I want to mention, Coach Jaylen Hill, his return, his veteran leadership. What are you seeing from him this season?
Jaylen, you know, coming off I mean, he had a rough year last year. I mean, he breaks his wrist, then he goes and tears his ACL. Then he comes back this year, and, you know, he gets rolls his ankle, then he comes back, gets poked in the eye. So it's kind of been one injury after another for him. But what you know you're going to get with Jaylen is veteran leadership, great team defender, good rebounder. So, and again, he's somebody that I think as he continues to get more comfortable coming back from a knee injury, he's just going to kind of continue to produce and get better. But as much as anything, you know you're going to get a consistent player night in and night out. Yeah,
battle tested. Your team is so confident and tough heading into conference play. Well, coming up next, we're going one-on-one with the Texas native, Jaylen Bedford, who's been a steady hand for UNLV since the start of the season. We'll get to know number 14's journey of playing from the JUCO level to playing in the sports capital of the world. The RebZone returns after the break. You guys dominated Fresno State from start to finish. What was clicking? What was working for you guys tonight?
Really what we did well was offensive rebound, 19-6 against them. You know, moving the ball, pushing it, you know, taking open shots, great open shots, not really taking too early shots, so it was good for us.
Big night for you, shooting from downtown, 3 of 4 from deep. What was working for you offensively?
You know, just doing what I do best, you know, have my feet under me like my coach taught to me. You know, just taking shots that I'm comfortable with and I know I can make, so yeah. Transferring
to UNLV, joining this group, why is this team so special?
You know, I think what's special about it is I connected with the guys, you know, the coaches, and that's a big thing for me. You know, it translates from off the court to on the court. That's a big thing, so I'm excited to be here.
Working with DJ Thomas, one of the best guards in the conference, how does he make you better every day?
He pushes me on and off the court. He's one of the best PZ in the conference, so I mean, what he does well, he's a playmaker, you know, shoot the ball, you can pass the ball, you feel me? You know, so I love the guy, so yeah.
Pop had a big night coming off the bench. What spark does he bring for you guys?
Energy. I ain't gonna lie, he scared me when he made that 3. It was big and contested, so I mean, I love the dude. He takes some good shots. He's nice blocks, some alley-oops, you saw that, so yeah, great guy.
1-0 in conference play, getting ready for a 1 p.m. tip-off at Air Force. What do you want to see from your guys in conference play?
You know, doing what we did here is, you know, keeping the same confidence, same energy, putting it out there in Colorado.
You know, a lot of local high school boys watch this show here in Las Vegas. What can they learn from your journey?
You know, they can learn that there's a bunch of trial and error. You know, just stick to what you know best, and you know, everybody's route is different. I took the JUCO route. You know, everybody has their own paths, and I mean, just do your own thing.
Jaylen told me he's a basketball junkie. What leadership do you see from him off the court, Coach?
Yeah, just like he said, connecting with the guys. You know, being a good just team unit. Because you know, the closer you are with the guys, and there's that relationship there, the less you want to let each other down. And you know, in those teams, it's not going to be perfect every single day, but when you've got that bond and that trust and that kind of that love for each other, it translates onto the court, just like he said.
Yeah, several playmakers on your roster this season, and we're just getting started in conference play. Coming up next, UNLV is packing up to Colorado Springs, getting ready to face Air Force for a 1 p.m. tip-off on Tuesday at the Academy. We'll hear more from Coach Kruger on winning 3 straight. Plus, it was a homecoming win for former UNLV quarterback Jayden Bedford, beating Texas A&M in the Las Vegas Bowl. We'll hear more from Bedford and USC football next on the RebZone.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Welcome back to the RebZone. It's been a busy 2024 sports season and a dominant start to conference play for UNLV, dominating Fresno State 87-77 last night. Up next, it's focusing on going 2-0 in conference play on Tuesday against the Falcons. We're packing our bags to the Air Force Academy for a 1 p.m. tip-off on Tuesday. Coach, we talk about how unique Air Force is. They didn't play this weekend, so a little bit more extra time for you guys to prep. How are you preparing to take down Air Force again?
Yeah, good practice this morning after a good night last night against Fresno, but you know, this is a mental approach as much as any. Air Force has a unique style that they are incredibly disciplined and they play incredibly hard. So as much as we know we have to play hard and bring a lot of energy, you've got to be really locked in and focused mentally as well.
Yeah, a huge road win for you guys last year on the road, 72-43 against the Falcons. Looking for another dominant win on Tuesday on the road at Air Force. And you guys host San Jose State on Saturday for a 3 p.m. tip-off at the Thomas and Mack. You dominated San Jose State last year on the road and at home. What can you expect to see from the Spartans this year?
You know, Coach Miles is a good friend and a mentor to me, so I try to watch as many games of his as I can when they play. And just like every year, they play incredibly hard. They play incredibly unselfish. So just like every night in the Mountain West, we know we're going to have to put together 40 minutes and understand it's going to be a fight every possession to get good shots and to get stops defensively, because his teams are going to play really hard and play well together.
Your 4th year as a head coach, getting ready for conference play. What can you tell fans about the Mountain West League this year?
Yeah, I think that it's still really good. It's still a very tough league, but there are a lot of new faces. You know, when you talk about kind of the usual suspects over the last 2-3 years with House and Mashburn at New Mexico, or Ledee at San Diego State, or Ledee and Butler at San Diego State, Stevens at Colorado State. You know, all those guys that have been there multiple years are now gone. But the conference still has a lot of really good players, a lot of really good teams, and a lot of the games are going to be really good and competitive, just like they were last year.
Yeah, and this is the city to play in the Mountain West, Las Vegas, the sports capital of the world. Want to ask you your thoughts on UNLV being a national brand. Cute picture of you and your daughter at a UNLV football game. Coach, I feel like UNLV athletics is bigger than ever this year.
Oh, we are. I mean, if you asked my daughter, Cammy girl, right there, if you ask her favorite color is Rebel Red.
Oh.
You know, and we're huge UNLV fans. We're huge college football fans, not just in the Kruger house, but in the athletic or in the basketball department. We try to go to as many games as we possibly can, cheer them on, because right now UNLV is continuing to get better all around, and it's fun to be a part of, and fun to go out and support UNLV.
Well, speaking of fun, it was fun to watch Jayden Bedford dominate Texas A&M in the Las Vegas Bowl. Here's more from that huge matchup on Friday night.
No regret. I definitely believe in decisions that I've made in my past led me to this point today. So I'm super grateful for this opportunity for this team to just go out there and play a really good team. And yeah.
The Mountain West Freshman of the Year, Jayden Bedford, back at Allegiant Stadium signing autographs as a Trojan. Bedford started the last 3 games of the regular season and is looking for his first bowl win in his hometown of Las Vegas. USC started the 2024 season off with a win against LSU. The Trojans are ready to finish the season with a win against another SEC opponent, Texas A&M. The Aggies come out hot. Freshman quarterback Marcel Reed throws a dime to Noah Thomas in the back of the end zone, and the Aggies jump on the board first. USC's offense trying to get going. Meanwhile, their defense comes out with a spark. Reed is picked off by Kamari Ramsey, the sophomore safety's first interception of the season, and the Trojans are showing off their dance moves on the Las Vegas Strip. The takeaway would lead to a USC touchdown. Jayden Bedford connects over the middle to Jacoby Lane. The young sophomore shows off his speed, and we got a tied ball game at Allegiant Stadium. The Trojans try to add 3 more on the board before the half, but USC's 39-yard kick is no good. Texas A&M and USC are tied up 7-7 at the half. Third quarter, the Aggies bring the juice. Marcel Reed is rolling. Another touchdown for Texas A&M, and the Aggies jump in front 14-7. Texas A&M adds another field goal on the board, and the Aggies are back in the red zone. Reed to Jabari Barbie, and Texas A&M is dominating the third quarter 24-7. The Trojans respond and start making the biggest comeback in Las Vegas Bowl history. Bedford over the middle again to Lane. Touchdown number 2 for the sophomore receiver, and USC trails Texas A&M 24-14. Trojans not done. How about another touchdown to open up the fourth quarter? Bedford hands it off to Brian Jackson, and we got a ball game at Allegiant Stadium. The Trojans trail the Aggies 24-21. USC's defense holds Texas A&M to another field goal, this time from 39 yards out, and it's blocked. No good. Later in the fourth quarter, check out this red zone execution by Bedford and Lane. Touchdown number 3 on the night for Jacoby Lane. The Trojans steal the lead 28-24, and this game ain't over, folks. The Aggies punch back. Quarterback 1 takes the rock 19 yards to the house, and the Aggies jump back in front 31-28 with 1:40 to play. What a story for Jayden Bedford. First and goal at the 7-yard line. Bedford finds Kyle Ford, and that's ball game. USC rallies back from down 24-7 to finish their season with a 35-31 win over Texas A&M. Bedford leads his Trojans to victory, clinching his first bowl win in his hometown.
You know, he didn't play his best there for a while, missed a few things he doesn't normally miss, but he stayed with it, and that's what you got to do. I mean, you're not always going to have your A game. You play against a defense that's as good as Texas A&M's. You know, they're going to make some plays too, and you got to keep fighting. And I think he showed really the heart of a champion in terms of just staying with it. That's not an easy thing to do, and he's really hard on himself. And you know, he wants to do it so bad for the other guys on the team and on the roster that you appreciate that. And I thought there were his teammates though did a great job lifting him up. up. I mean, just a couple of the big stops, you know, holding them to no points there after the interception out of the end zone. You know, it's like the team just kept lifting him up, and then he kind of caught fire there at the end and played really confident. So proud of the guys around him, and certainly proud of the way Jayden responded.
What a week in Las Vegas. The Runnin' Rebels always supporting UNLV football. Kevin Kruger has the best job in the world. We'll see you next Sunday on the RebZone.